Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems. It is that time of the week. This microphone smells like Truly. I should probably clean it every now and then, huh? Oh my God. Yes, it is time for another Low Tech, Lo-Fi, Low Life album deep dive where we take a listen to an entire classic punk album. We dissect it, we rip it apart, we tear it into pieces, we find out just what makes it such a classic. We go over all the fun facts about the album, the recording process, the members, song meanings, tips and tricks. See why doctors hate him. This week, as chosen by you, Mod Trey, you were the only person that voted last week. We've got Operation Ivy Energy. I do need to get my notes out for this. How about that? Wouldn't that be helpful if professional DJ came prepared? Yes. So, and maybe we'll take a poll on whether we should do it or not. I've also got Operation Ivy Hectic EP and the 69 Newport 7-inch. Maybe we could listen to those as well. It's about 7-8 more songs. And I think that right there would be the entire Operation Ivy discography. Their entire catalog. So let's see. Let's jump into some notes about Operation Ivy's energy. Let's see. Operation Ivy consists of Jesse Michaels on lead vocals, Lint, or as some of you may know him, Tim Armstrong on guitar and backing vocals. For this release, they have it listed as Matt McCall, which I never realized that before. Most of you probably know him as Matt Freeman, and when I was looking this up, that his real last name, his real name is Matthew Freeman, and it listed him as Matt McCall, like it was some sort of nickname. I don't get it. I don't know why they call him that, but that's what he's listed as. And Dave Mello on drums. Additional performers, Pat Mello, backing vocals, and Paul Bay, credited as Paul Bainey, on saxophone and backing vocals. So let's see. Let's get into it. Energy is the only studio album by the American ska punk band Operation Ivy. Okay, we don't have a charger for this. It's fine. Fuck it. We'll do it live. It's the only studio album by the American ska punk band Operation Ivy. It was originally released on vinyl and cassette in May 1989 through Lookout Records with the catalog number LK10. That's what we've got here in front of us, an original copy. Lookout Records number 10. Although the album itself has never been released on CD, all of the tracks were featured on the career-spanning compilation Operation Ivy, issued by Lookout in 1991. Despite achieving no mainstream success, Energy is considered one of the most important albums of ska punk and is frequently cited as an influence by many later bands of the genre. The album stayed in print on Lookout until 2006 when the band took back its recordings from the label due to unpaid royalties. If you've tuned in to previous deep dives, we know the same situation existed for Screeching Weasel around that same time. That's when Lookout was on its way out. Where did we leave off? Yep. Okay. Guitarist Tim Lint, Armstrong's label Hellcat Records, re-released the original album as a 12-inch LP picture disc in 2004, and in 2007 put out a remastered version of the self-titled compilation. A second vinyl edition was released by Hellcat on April 18th, 2012, and debuted at number 13 on Billboard's vinyl albums chart. Uh, Congratulations, Hellcat. Way to go. All right, so background and recording. Shortly after returning from a short U.S. tour in June 1988, the band played a show at Humboldt State University in Arcata, California, with Crimpshrine, Isocracies, and The Lookouts. Following the show, the band stopped at a local burrito shop with Lookout Records owner Larry Livermore and David Hayes to discuss future plans. Livermore and Hayes suggested recording a follow-up EP to their debut Hectic, but the band members revealed that they intended to do a full studio album. Figuring the band was not ready to record an album and fearing that Lookout did not have enough money to put it out, Livermore and Hayes attempted to talk the band out of their decision, but to no avail. As guitarist Lint would later say, "You can tell Operation Ivy, but you can't tell them much." Oh, Lint, you funny guy. The original intent was to record the album live at 924 Gilman Street during closed hours with minimal overdubs, with Gilman soundman Radley Hirsch as engineer. Radley says, "I think they were hoping to capture the electricity and excitement of their live shows, a nice trick if you can manage it." Larry Livermore later said, "But without an audience, Gilman was just a barn-like structure with mediocre acoustics. It lacked soundproofing, isolation booths, a control room, and all those fancy features." During recording, however, the band ran into a number of disagreements with Hirsch, such as not wanting Lint to use distortion on his guitar and having bassist Matt use an Ampeg SVT amp that sounded like Blue Cheer or something. The sessions dragged on for what seemed like forever due to the engineer's decision to record overdubs, and weeks were spent working on single songs. Livermore was also dissatisfied with the recording, saying, "Some were as good or better than anything Lookout had done, but others just felt weird." By December 1988, the members were unsure if they wanted to continue working on the album and arranged a band meeting to decide what to do. After agreeing to start over from scratch, Livermore was assigned with the task of firing Hirsch from the project, and the band went to Sound and Vision Studios in San Francisco with Kevin Army in January 1989 to re-record the album. Recording went quickly during these sessions, with the band completing basic tracks for the entire album in one day. It was a live recording because we went in there and we just went down the list. We weren't really taking breaks at all, according to Matt. We didn't want to slow down. We just wanted to get it done because we were on a roll. Let's see. Here's some notes on the release. Once recording was finally finished, the band began working on artwork and packaging. Jesse Michaels drew the front cover and originally intended to put together the lyric sheet, but could not finish it before it was due and had Hayes take over. The album was finished in March and due for release 2 months later in May. As a celebration, Livermore and the band booked a record release party concert at Gilman on May 28th that also included Green Day, Surrogate Brains, Crimpshrine, and The Lookouts on the bill, all of which also had records coming out. However, a few weeks before the concert, Lint and Matt went to see Livermore, looking utterly shell-shocked, and revealed that Jesse Michaels had decided to leave the group and they intended to break up. "I remember me and Jesse were on Telegraph. I was buying him some beer," Lint later said. "Me and him talked about how the band wasn't really what it was when it started. It was like a mutual thing. That's one thing that's not usually told. It wasn't like he quit. It was like, yeah, we're not really into it anymore." So that's interesting because I've often heard it was Jesse Michaels quit the band, and that's where the blame was pointed. But there's Lint right there telling you it was a mutual decision between everyone in the band. They all felt that way. As a result, the planned record release party became the band's last public performance. They later played one more private show the following day in Robert Eggplant's backyard in Pinole, California. Some notes on the reception and legacy of the album. In a retrospective review, Adam Bergman of AllMusic awarded Energy 4 out of 5 stars and considered it among the best albums of the ska punk genre. If I was rating it on the Sims and Leon scale, on a scale of 1 to 7, 1 being not my favorite, 7 being the worst, I'd give this a solid 3.18, putting it almost at the peak, at almost the best rating you could give an album, leaning more towards the side of not my favorite as opposed to the worst ever. So, yeah, that's where I put it on the SNL scale. Let's see. Bergman of AllMusic praised the album for succeeding in combining all sorts of elements and called it an unsurpassed, highly intelligent, extremely fun record. In 2006, Energy was ranked as the highest-rated punk album of 1989 and sixth highest-rated ever on Sputnik Music. Huh. Look at that. BuzzFeed also included the album at number 12 on their list of 36 pop-punk albums you need to hear before you fucking die. Many artists have covered the songs on Energy and Hectic, including the tribute album Take Warning, the songs of Operation Ivy. The leftover crack song, Gay Rude Boys Unite, is a parody of Unity, and the introduction music is deliberately similar to that of Yellin' in My Ear. Split Lip's 1996 compilation album, Archived Music for Stubborn People, songs you may or may not have heard before, included a cover of Unity. Goldfinger covered the song Smiling on their live album Foot and Mouth. Hollywood Undead covered the song Bad Town on their album Desperate Measures. Knowledge has been covered by Green Day. We'll take a listen to that later as well. On their Slappy EP, later featured on the 1039 Smoothed Out Slappy Hours collection. And Millencolin on their Scotch EP. The American punk rock band Energy named themselves after this album. So I know what you're saying, Mikey. These are a lot of words and not very much music. We're getting there. We're about to hit play. It's coming. It's going to find you. Here's a little factoid I found about the meaning of the band's name. The United States detonated its first thermonuclear device as part of Operation Ivy in 1952 at Eniwetok Atoll in the Marshall Islands. It had a yield equivalent to 10.4 million tons of TNT. Thermonuclear weapons were designed for total war, capable of destroying whole cities on a scale far outpacing the devastation wrought on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I never knew that. I guess a quick Google search could have told me that, had I ever thought to make one, but I did not. But yeah, their name comes from a 1959 U.S. military Operation Ivy. So here we are. As you know, I always like to, every record changes. Is it side A? Is it side 1? Is it this side? Is it that side? This album here is side A and side B. So track 1, side A, Knowledge. Later on, maybe we'll listen. If you remind me, we'll listen to the Green Day cover song of that. I don't have too many notes on this song. I don't have too many detailed notes on most of these songs, or a lot of them in general. A lot of them are just mostly what I think the song's about. They're not that hard to figure out. The lyrics are pretty straightforward in their meaning on most songs, at least as I perceive them. Knowledge, anyway, I found a quote that maybe this song could have been based on. I know that I know nothing is a saying derived from Plato's account of the Greek philosopher Socrates. And even though Jesse Michael says, all I know is that I don't know nothing, it was Socrates that said something. And there's another quote. I should have put it in my notes. I didn't. Socrates said something like, knowledge is knowing that you know nothing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this song is based heavily on those words. Let's get into it. Side A, track 1, Operation Ivy's Energy LP. This is Knowledge.
I know things are getting tougher when you can't get the top off the bottom of the barrel. Wide open, roar my future now.
It's looking fucking narrow.
All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. We get up to this side. Just What you gonna do with yourself, boy? Better make up your mind. What you gonna do with yourself, boy? Running out of time. This time I got it all figured out. I know that I don't know. I know that I don't know nothing. I know that I don't know. I know that I don't know nothing.
Snoop Dogg. Sound system.
One thing that I can't depend on. Sound system gonna bring me back up. Right. One thing that I can't depend on. Try to describe it to the limit of my ability. It's there for a second, then it's giving up what it used to be. Containing music somehow more than just sound. This inspiration comes in twisting things around. Cause you always know that it's gonna have to go. You always know that you'll be back in the cold. One of the bunches of them made it in a song. So he's coming to give it that hope for just a second, then it's gone. What? System gonna bring me back up, right? One thing that I can't depend on. Sound system gonna bring me back up, yeah. One thing that I can't depend on. Static pulse inside of music bringing us escape. So temporary, changing nothing in its way. Just a second where we're leaving all this shit behind. Just a second, but it's leaving just as much of mine. Too intense, despair, that second makes you sing. Too intense, despair, cause you can't change everything. Too intense, despair, in this world is what it is, what it is, what it is. A big crazy sound system gonna bring me back up, right? One thing that I can't depend on. Sound system gonna bring me back up, yeah. One thing that I can't depend on. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up,
Sound
pick it up,
system.
pick it up, go! Sound system, sound system.
Wake up to a boss and what's the shade that's the sudden. Times are getting tougher while time start running. Fox my head, music by my side. Can't get to the rhythm, I don't feel by my side.
Sound system gonna bring me back up,
Yeah, one thing that I can't depend on.
sound system gonna bring me back up.
Right, one thing that I can't depend on.
Sound system gonna bring me back up.
Right, one thing that I can't depend on.
Sound system gonna bring me back up.
Yeah, one thing that I can't depend on.
Sound system, sound system.
Okay, all right. So what do we got? Song number 3, Jaded. The chorus is credited to be written by John Healy. You think I would have Googled to see who that was? I don't know. Maybe just a friend of the band, a musician in the scene. I don't know. My notes here, it says it feels like Jesse obviously wrote this about the punk scene. He seems judgmental and even cynical about the scene, at the same time appreciating it for everything it had taught him previously. I don't know. That's just my dumb opinion of the song. Let's get into it. Let's check out Jay.
Something breaks inside you, the spectacle of all shows. Then they fight, your device has gone up from motor stuff. Jaded, I see clearly, when only out the words there. Good old days are far behind, look like this boredom and despair. Sometimes every once in a while, sometimes every once in a while. Beautiful, I would say I wouldn't have it any other way. If I said different, that would be a lie. If I said different, that would be a lie. Be alive. What was once rebellion is now clearly just a social set. Or are you just upset? Cause your own social clique is left, leaving you wine. Cause I know that someday I will too, but I won't burn my bridges. Be just another jaded fool. Sometimes every once in a while. Sometimes every once in a while.
All right, because Snoop Dogg missed our science fact, says here the United States detonated its first thermonuclear device as part of Operation Ivy in 1952 at Anuatak Atoll in the Marshall Islands. It had a yield equivalent to 10.4 million tons of TNT. Thermonuclear weapons were designed for total war, capable of destroying whole cities on a scale far outpacing the devastation wrought on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So there you go. That's a little meaning behind the band's name. Looks like we're on song 4. What is that? Take Warning. On the Gilman Street Live CD, Jesse Michael says this song is about Nazi skinheads.
Listen up! Oh, take warning, take warning. Really gotta take warning. Stand by your friends. Right or right. Can't call that justice if it's just a stupid excuse to fight, single out and attack. What you got? No defense. You call that a new way of thinking. I call it regression to ignorance. Take warning, take warning. Take warning, take warning. New generation coming and we really gotta stand up to them. Take warning, take warning. No one's got a thing against you, but you got something to prove. We don't need no new set of standards. We don't need no new set of rules. Man, heard all that shit before about dropping out any difference. We say stand together, not to fight, just to exist. Take warning, take warning. Take warning, take warning. Intimidation coming and we really gotta say no to them. Take warning, take warning. Enough is enough is enough. Why don't you just ease up? I saw another beat down last night. Take warning. Who's the next to hit the ground tonight? Take warning. Take warning. Take warning. Take warning. Take warning. Take warning. Intimidation coming and we really gotta say no to them. Take warning. Take warning.
All right, so because it seems like Snoop missed the beginning where I was blabbering on and on, you were wondering if these guys thought this would be such a punk legacy. Well, they didn't I didn't see anything that got into that of them like confirming or denying that. I did see they went on like a little lunch meeting. They went to a burrito place with Larry Livermore and to talk about their next release after the Hectic EP, which I think we're going to probably play after this as well. I have the Hectic EP and the 69 Newport 7-inch. We'll probably play both just to go over the entire catalog of Operation Ivy while we're here. But yes, they sat down with Lookout Records execs, I guess, if you call them that. And they were wanting to record a follow-up. Larry and the other guy from Lookout suggested they do another EP. And Operation Ivy was like, no, we're doing a full-length album. And they're like, we don't think that's a good idea. Lookout can't afford it right now. And, yeah, Operation Ivy was like, no, we're fucking doing a full length. That's what we want to do. So Apparently they, had all these songs in their pocket and knew that they were all worth recording as a full album, and that, it was they apparently they knew they had something. I mean, shit, geez, how could you not if you had, been sitting on this and playing these songs and getting them together? But yeah, let's get into it. Track 5 is The Crowd. What is my my notes here says it feels like this song is about the struggles of conforming to societal norms and abusing alcohol as a coping mechanism, something I'm sure millions of people can relate to. So let's get into The Crowd. Airdrum this album. It switches up a lot.
Riches to the world, the end of the time. Where you just fight to wake you up and open eyes. Waking by a lock, 15 minutes of 5G, 20 minutes of meeting, 30 seconds to the door. Look outside, look into the eyes of the personal love. 2,000 miles before, feelings gonna cover like who's gonna tell. Scared of one another, not be scared of rise down. Whoa, just another crowd. More, just another crowd. More, just another crowd. More, just another crowd. We need a gathering instead. Drink in the badlands. Liquid breath for the poor. Another member of the crowd goes down, drowned in the liquor store. Jesus gave us the heartlands, running at command. When you feel like a lost in this world, gotta get away any way that you can. More, just another crowd. More, just another crowd. More, just another crowd. More, just another crowd. We need a gathering instead.
It will not let anyone win tonight. What the fuck? Bombshell, lyrics by both Tim and Jesse.
She's a bombshell. Got something gonna be 13 to drink. 6 a.m. on site and plus a break. Met her at a quarter, drunk or sober. Said it's cold, how long I come to move her.
Oh yeah.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? I've retraced myself to some signs. Seems like I've been out resting all my friends about her. Been 6 months, I'll never be the same. Don't play away, you'll find randomly. Oh yeah. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh yeah. Shake the bombshell. Shake the bombshell. Shake the bombshell. Shake the bombshell.
Bombshell. All right, I think I have some notes on the next song here. Unity. Most of these, not necessarily song meanings, just my opinion. Seems like yet another song about violence in the punk scene.
There's a war coming down between my breast and I. I don't want no war going down tonight.
Stop this! Whoa! Stop this! Whoa! Civilization, I call it as I see it. I call this pussy, I still cannot believe it. Our evolution now is gone the way of aim. Or will the fall resolve into a stupid pain? Stop this! Whoa! Stop this! Whoa!
a 60-second cooldown, Snoop.
Final word, wait, it's not a call to action. We ain't no sex, no, this ain't no fucking faction. Unity, 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 you've heard it all before. Stop it, not excuses, why stop the war? Stop this. Stop this.
Number one.
Ain't nothing wrong with another unity song. Ain't nothing wrong with another unity song. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with a unity song. Stop this.
Oh, Snoop, they will not let you win, huh?
Stop this. Unity, as one, stand together. Unity, evolution gotta come right. Unity, as one, stand together. Unity, evolution gotta come. Unity, as one, stand together. Unity, evolution gotta come. Unity, as one, stand together. Unity, evolution gotta come. I saw this guy go down. What's the type of people for his body hit the ground? Wrong ability. It's all our red sensitivity. Gonna hit him, pull to a stop. Driver in his bottle, the anticipated cop. Wrong ability. It's all our red sensitivity. Oh yeah. Crowd sample to take a look at death. Sentence called back the body back to brain red. Vulnerability. No more insensitivity. People look bored like expecting more. People look bored like expecting more. Vulnerability. No more insensitivity. And sympathy. All the friends of all you know. And maybe we don't know who we are anymore. And not that spectacle, and it's respectable. Take it lightly like another TV show. From the desensitized, from the humanized. With all the things when you find some place to go. We're drowning. All vulnerability. All our insensitivity. We're drowning. All vulnerability. It's all our insensitivity. And it's gonna be the death of us. Just you wait and see.
What can I find at eastbaypunk.com? The story of East Bay Punk. Check that out. I like that. You can win! All right, so song 10, side A, is the last song of side A, is One of These Days. written by Lee Hazelwood, originally performed by Nancy Sinatra. And if you were here in the beginning of the stream, you heard me say, my microphone smells like Truly. And I need to clean this motherfucker.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. Walk all over you. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. Walk all over you. Alright, get out the way. Walk all over you. 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 Get up, get up, get up. Walk all over you. Walk all over you. Walk all over you.
Well, I bought a new microphone. I wouldn't say new. I got a new to me microphone at the thrift store yesterday, and it definitely needs to be cleaned. But it is a condenser microphone requiring phantom power, and I've got no way to phantom power that bad boy right now. But it was a deal that was too good to pass by. But anyway, this brings us to side B of the album, and here, whenever it's halftime on the album Deep Dive, we take a poll and we vote on next week's album Deep Dive. So if you're familiar, you know last week's loser is still in contention for at least another 2 weeks. So yes, last week's loser, or I shouldn't say loser, just non-winner. We've got the Circle Jerks, Group Sex, or never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. We'll get that poll going. If it doesn't pop up there in a little while, just throw me your vote in the chat. We'll tally them up the old school way, and we'll figure out what we're diving into next week. Let's see. Track 1 on side... Motherfucker. Hold on. Because I felt like I was calling it side 1. No, it was side A. Side A the entire time. So side B, you know, it's always interesting what one band or label will call the sides. So side B, track 1 is Gonna Find You. Let's see, what are my notes here? Another song that confronts the inevitability of conforming to society's standards.
Back in school, you ever get busted for trying to walk and have some administrator tell you,
Yeah, I think bollocks means balls,
you can
too.
shirk your obligation and try and be different for the peers, but responsibility of your future. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Well, outside his kicking beats out cause he was out of luck. The lottery of acceptance and let's go and roll it up. Saw a bunch of comic doors on inside a cage. Then watch them back rings with an score big win. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Stop his pussy strong and that his body sweats and shakes. It feels education and let's go and cheap escape. It's on the score of human thinking teaches only truth. One of its educations. Gotta find you. 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 Thoughts of civilization where grabbing onto wealth was the only guarantee of freedom, peace and health. Dollar sign value system upheld as a truth. If you can't find a place, it's gotta find you. Cyber paranoid response to all the examples. The ones who don't fit in this way of living getting trampled. Success is obedience to a structured way of life. Getting through the structure cause we're all within its sight. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you.
Oh, C-Dex! I definitely can't join in on any shots right now because I will be doing some driving after this, doing some Uber eating. Yes, so side B, song 2 is Bad Town, and my notes tell me these lyrics were written by Lint.
They call a scene, I call it disaster. Down here the kids grow faster, scared. It's killed a bone.
The official poll is now live. If you want to get your vote in.
When the packs together, the battle cry. I saw it, 15 on 1. The crowd dispersed, the kids with guns. No, no more, no, bad town. No more bad town. No, no more, no, bad town. No more bad town. Yeah. Down there you gotta have a label, just like a cattle and stable. Knee-jerk reaction, I call violence. Why speak out when you be silent? Down there, out on the dance floor, too much violence, I don't want more. Down there, out on the streets, I can see the air, I can see the heat. No, no more, no, bad town. No more bad town. No, no more, no, bad town. No more bad town. No more bad town.
There's a 60-second cooldown on the game, but you gotta wait 1 minute. Fucking Belmore!
Smiling friends
Watching
you at the party, at the bus stop, at the bar. You're looking at women cause your score's on the bar. When you find out it doesn't mean anything, wonder why your life is so boring. Mine is a terrible thing to waste. You ain't grinding wasted just a same face. Time was a wish and without it you were lost. Integrity is fragile but you ignore the cost. Smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling when your friends are watching. You smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling when your friends are watching. You wanna thank God keys in hand. You fulfill your gender's sexual demands. Are you feeling insecure and empty when you're rushing to report to your peers? Mine is a terrible thing to waste. You ain't nothing with it, just a state face. Tired what you wish and without it you are lost. Integrity is fragile but you ignore the cost. Smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling when your friends are watching. You smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling when your friends are watching. You
Stop that shit like you're nuts.
smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling when your friends are watching. You smiling when your friends are
And we're glad you're here, you. Thanks for joining us.
Smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling when your friends are watching. Smiling, friends watching you.
Okay, the results are in, and it looks like next week we'll be doing a deep dive on the Sex Pistols. Never mind the Bollocks. So, big winner there. Circle Jerks lost for second week in a row, which means next week is their last week in contention. If they don't win next week, it gets, filed away in the crate here, and will it ever come back? I don't know. It'll be a while. So, what do we got coming up? Is it? It's caution. Caution. It looks like. My notes say. I really like the line. When you're king for a day, you're a whore for a week. So let's give Caution a listen here.
Rolling.
It was 2-1. I just recounted. It was 2-1.
What I could not understand.
Fucking steam train.
Still painted glass, came pulse like I'm gonna mind him back. No need, no food, no sleep. King for day or hard for wake. Cousin is a word that I can't understand. Cousin is a word that I can't understand. What I could not understand. Turn around, start talking to me. Still painted glass, give me pulse like I'm gonna mind him back. No need, no food, no sleep. King for day or hard for wake.
Still 2-1. I don't know.
Cousin is a word that I can't understand. Cousin is a word that I can't understand. I didn't get it then. I think I got it now. Cousin, my friend, go step in the water so you know you can swim.
Whoa, Matt,
Cousin
calm
is a
down
word
with
that
that
I can't
bass.
understand. Cousin is a word that I can't understand. Can't understand. Can't understand.
There's a freeze up coming.
Empty factory to the east and all our ways. The safer things that keeps us on the broken worker safe. To the west will find us looking promised land where machines replace our monsters.
67% of the votes went to the Sex Pistols in a landslide victory.
But I just don't know if these are planted in a poison place where nothing grows. 1989, stand up and take a look around. Well, it's been attention, it seems to sinking down. Drunk with power and fighting one another. Every hour sons of which are getting harder. There's a freeze up, there's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up, there's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up coming. Nations as a toll is radiating blinding light. Plastic and fluorescent energy robbing us of sight. Set in our way, content without a K. We wave the flag of freedom as we conquer and invade. Ever ask yourself, where's my place in this hell? But no one's there to tell you cause they don't know that themselves. Well rehearsed lines from our elated politicians no longer offer solace, we can see the self-destruction. 1989, stand up and take a look around. Well, it's been attention, it seems to sinking down. Drunk with power and fighting one another. Every hour shows the winter getting harder. There's a freeze up, there's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up, there's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up coming. Let's go. Just one political song to drop into the list that stretches years and years long. Just one political song to drop into the list that stretches years and years long. Static and division is increasing like a storm. We are shelter, we are forewarned. Nothing can be changed except ourselves. Nothing can be changed except ourselves. There's a freeze up. There's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up. There's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up. There's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up. Freeze up coming. There's a freeze up. There's a freeze up coming. There's a freeze up coming.
to this song are co-written Jesse and Lint.
No,
I never put a cool down on the math. I need to do that, or at least make it more expensive. Man, it gets hotter to the math.
American culture, Disneyland freak show, screen in your living room, a window for your tomb. You can't compare the world sitting there, repress your insecurities, watching it skin.
We got a hot pyramid going. Oh!
Give me superficial. Give me a commercial for life that can't be bought. This is saying to you what I say is true. Emotions on a product. Stop thinking so. Coming attracted and coming real soon. Princess having crush with bad boom. Wanna know where all the bullshit goes? Go down the sewer to be that song. Artificial life in the market. Artificial life in the marketplace. Artificial life in the market. Artificial life in the marketplace. Artificial life in the market.
Bring it down, boys, bring it down.
Artificial life in the marketplace. Artificial life in the market. Artificial life in the marketplace.
It's artificial life. Whoa, hey, back it up there. Let's. Ever professional DJ. Oh, professional DJ. All right, so here we are, song 17 on the album, which is song 7 on the B side here, on side B. Room Without a Window. Back in the days of AOL chat, I don't know, if you were around in like 94, 95, you may have gotten one of those free discs or like 100 of them for several hours of AOL internet time back when you used to get charged like by the minute, by the hour, for being online. And one of the big things I did on AOL was just hung out in chat rooms, more specifically the punk chat rooms. But back in the day of AOL chat, every punk worth their weight in spikes had the first lines, had these first lines in their bio, on their little AOL bio. It would say about me, and it would say, the position being taken is not to be mistaken for attempted education or a righteous accusation. Only a description, just an observation of the pitiful condition of our degeneration. If you were a real punk, you had those words in your AOL bio to let everybody in the punk chat know you were fucking legit. You weren't some poser coming in here talking about, are you guys here for new Green Day song? Do you guys like Longview? That video on MTV is pretty cool.
The position being taken is not to be mistaken for attempted education or righteous accusation. Only a description, just an observation of the pitiful condition of our generation. Both made of opinions, for which we speak and never listen, stealing made of pride. Business and so satisfied, so let's made of rage. Parties only age, always closed and gentle with every more we wage. In this room without a window, can't see out. Room without a window, can't see out, can't see out. Floors made of life, we gladly used to stay inside. Corners made of photos, and photos made of honor. Vision with a whistleblower, just a dark reflection. Flashing with the records of our cultural division. Room without a window, can't see out. Room without a window, can't see out, can't see out. Ha 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 ha. Oh, so stupid. Killing each other. Don't we learn nothing? Got a room inside our mind. Yeah, we can't see out because we're blind. But I got to joke. Got to make us tell straight. Alright, from the room without a window to a different way to think. Got a room inside our mind. Yeah, we get the out because we're blind. But I got to do, gotta make a tail swing. Alright, from the room without a window to a different way to see. The position being taken is not to be mistaken for attempted education. Righteous accusation, only a description, just an observation of the pitiful condition. Burning generation, from without a window, can't see out. From without a window, can't see out, can't see out. From without a window, can't see out. From without a window, can't see out, can't see out.
Big City.
Concrete cast rise up. Better women brought the land like a giant rock house. Floor slide down below. Foundations of buildings in a better house. People here got it real good. Get the glass house spring. Prepare a day. And other people talk in the streets. Concrete, no, never say big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, get the wish and well, big city, get to live in hell. The sound is fucking insane. One will stop and another will gain. It's like a giant mechanical brain. And people ourselves on the streets are made. Thinks only of itself. Thousand limbs gone and expands and grows until the concrete sits there. Sits there, so critical. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, get to wish I had one. Big city, get to live in hell. And I think I wanna be a bricklayer. So I can put another ring in the wall. Sanitary, rational, and happy and safe. Growing like a flower to surround the sun. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, it's a wish and wild. Big city, it's a living hell. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, big city. Big city, it's a wish and wild. Big city, it's a living hell.
All right, so that brings us to song 9 on side B, which is the 19th song and final song of the album. This is Missionary. My notes say it seems like this song is about the hypocrisy of the church and as well as imperialism in general. I don't know. These are just my thoughts and opinions on some of these songs here. Well, let's get it. Last song on Energy. And I think we're going to listen to a few bonus Operation Ivy tracks here that I've got. So, buckle up.
I started, I ended it, I killed, was offended. Got people hands, what's in hands, welcome and never man. On my way to save the world. On my way to save the world. Got a brand new set of words.
Thanks for the follow, Laura.
Against a fuss and I'm questioning belief. Words got it done, just in one shopping bugs. What's it love, I read just something to a bug. I started, I ended it, I killed, what's offended. Got people hands, what's in hands, welcome and never man. On my way to save the world. On my way to save the world. Missionary, can you see the flag rising up beyond the smoke? Dying off their burning books. What's the problem? What's they wrong? Like it's such a ring. I'll make such a look this thing. Covered with the blood of the faces that insane. I started, I end it. I kill it, what's a minute. Got big plans, what's in it? People my neck about. On my way to save the world.
right, thus concludes our trip through Operation Ivy's one and only full-length studio album, Energy. But right here, I do have, before they released that, they released their first EP on Lookout Records. This is an original copy of Lookout Records number 3, Operation Ivy's Hectic EP. So we're going to listen to some songs off of this, and by some, I mean all of the songs. There's only 6. They're pretty quick. Cool thing, this comes with like a nice little booklet with the lyric sheet, and it even has like song explanations. Like let's read Jesse's explanation here of Junkies Running Dry. What does he say? When I was first getting into underground music, I was really impressed by the people I met and who were really outwardly rebellious. The ones that I could really tell just by looking, their clothes, actions, and attitude were all just screaming fuck off to traditional standards. It never felt natural for me to attack and challenge the world so much, even though we shared the same beliefs towards freedom, against control. Later in life, when I found myself working lame jobs for asshole bosses, I looked around and saw those ones I looked up to doing the same thing I was, and some of them telling me I should grow up and accept it. This song is about that, and also about having to work. So there you go, from the man himself. Let's get into Junkies Running Dry. Professional.
I always got to one way to themselves in the face that ways. I'm looking at future I had no present day before. Are you never gonna wonder when there's no my self-worth was beyond any hope? I didn't care to touch again to protect I think before. But those I love so much they under with this change. They're working 40 hours, they got caught in the game. Junkies running, trying to vulnerability. Junkies running, they're always there on time. Junkies running, they can't be satisfied. Junkies running dry. This wonderful generosity, turn of us to what we place, doesn't look that great to me. It doesn't even really look there. All it is what deals him. Even I would have to agree with him. Some of us grow up, and it's still there. But those that love so much, they under with the change. They're working 40 hours, they got caught in the game. Junkies running, try to find ability. Junkies running, try, they're always there on time. Junkies running, we can't be satisfied. Junkies running dry. I go up too slow, I don't wanna go. I go up too slow, I don't wanna go. I go
You can't stand
up
the
too
slot
slow,
machine.
I don't wanna go. I go up too slow, I don't wanna go. The ones I love so much, they under with this change. They're working 40 hours, they got caught in the game. But now I'm working just like everybody else. But I'll get out of here. Junkies running, the vulnerability. Junkies running, they're always there on time. Junkies running, we can't be satisfied. Junkies running dry.
All right, so song 2, here we go again. The notes in here say this song is about how if you're male, you have to deal with the male standard, competition, being macho, etc., 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 etc. Again.
And life of what I was born into, I never could understand. You never wanted to grow up and let me be no man. Don't need circumcision is the meaning of our life. Stopping all the weak keeps us the winner no matter what mine. This isn't our life that are destroying our mind. Like the cells together make our consciousness blind. This is too self-interest with emotions locked away. That's what they call normal, then I'd rather be insane. Back yourself from giving up what you want to do in your life. It's not from giving up things like the control of your own mind. Never asking questions and you'll never get no answers. Might be worrying what you want, you keep getting all the bad. This is your life that I'm destroying our mind. Back ourselves together, make our consciousness blind. Listen to self-interest when their emotions like away. That's what they call normal, then I'd rather be insane. Distance in our lives that are destroying our minds. Let ourselves together, make our consciousness blind. Listen to self-interest with emotions like to wane. That's what they call normal, then I'd rather be insane. Back yourself from giving up what you want to do with your life. Ease up from giving up things like control of your own mind. Never gonna ask me a question, then you're never gonna get no answer. Always be wondering what do you want, keep getting older faster. Manhood. Here we go again. When you thought you won. Here we go again. While we keep competing. Here we go again. For the battle's just begun.
So let's see. In the middle of this little booklet that comes with the Hectic EP, it says band info. Operation Ivy is a band, nothing more or less. We aren't saying how the world should be or how music should be because we don't know any more than you do. We aren't looking for anybody to side with us on some standpoint, just to be open and acceptant of what we are doing, which is putting out music and ideas. Take them how you will. If we have any basic idea, it's listening to what other people are saying as long as they are listening to us and keeping our energy down to earth, intense, and hard-edged, just like life. Jesse Michaels. Next song is Hoboken, but I don't think they put a note about the song in there. So here we are, Hoboken.
I'm in the music,
You, but for you, we're in a situation, I don't know what to do.
make an action, get a reaction.
This might be my favorite Operation Ivy song.
What they say, what they did, you thought I lied. See you as a rise, but some you were everywhere. All look in New Jersey, I'm in the music, you, but for you. In the situation, I don't know what to do. Always something make me think things don't have to be so wrong. Put a block, nothing wrong. In your wickedness and trouble, you thought I lied. See you as a rise, but some you were everywhere. All look in New Jersey, I'm in the music, you, but for you. In the situation, I don't know what to do. Yeah! You thought I lied, see you as a lies. Back up you were everywhere, over in New Jersey. I'm in this prison, you've been for you. In this situation, I don't know what to do. I'm in this prison, you've been for you. In this situation, I don't know what to do. Let's go.
Yeah, like I was screaming out in the middle of a song there, that might be my favorite Operation Ivy song. What is your favorite Operation Ivy song? I normally ask that question during the deep dive here. I guess, their catalog isn't that long, so your favorite Op Ivy song, much like mine, doesn't have to be on the Energy LP that we did the deep dive on. We're doing a little bonus deep dive here on their Hectic EP. I think, what is the next song here? Is it Sleep Long? No, it's Yelling in My Ear. I'm not doing any shots. I gotta go drive after this.
Never a reason for the effects of the anything. When I talk to you, it's just like spitting at the rain. Got to know that when so you should have ran away. Kicked myself 1,000 times, but now it's too late. Yelling in my ear, you try to control me. Yelling in my ear, you look at your cold thing. Yelling in my ear, yelling in my ear, yelling in my ear.
I gotta go make some money for a new boom mic stand.
Got a big stop, you're never gonna get a clue. You're not obnoxious when you're gonna still hear you. Always spewing shit with your irritating voice. I don't wanna listen, but I got no choice. Yelling in my ear, you try to to control me. Yelling in my ear, you look but you don't say. Yelling in my ear, yelling in my ear, yelling in my ear. Quit acting like you're nuts. Just shut the hell up.
That old Tim Armstrong has always been a hell of a guitar player.
Yelling in my ear, you try to control me. Yelling in my ear, you look what you don't say. Yelling in my ear, yelling in my ear, yelling in my ear. Right.
All right, here we go. Next song, Sleep Long. It says here, this song is about some aspects of homelessness, the basic, obvious injustice, the way young people are blatantly, unsympathetically, and oblivious to the problem, and the fact that my first reaction was to not think about it. Wait, this guy's on some fucking Jeff Ott shit. He's going to be telling me how to shoot up in a second, you know?
Sleep long, sleep well. Only to awaken now. Sleep long, sleep well. Only to awaken now. The hands on man asleep. It is already on the street. Walls are sheltered in a bitch. I perceive his condition. Dying longer and explosive food and shelter. 2 months of it. Get this place sleeping in door. Wake me and living up. Sleep long, sleep well. Only to awaken now. Let's go. Sleep long, sleep well. Only to awaken now. Steady sleep and business running. Favorite time in the gun. Blind the sense from outbreaking. Why's it working on forgetting? Riding on the bus. Looked outside and thought of death. That's because the only trick to escape the final breath. Sleep long, sleep well. Sleep well. Only to awaken now. Sleep long, sleep well. Sleep well. Only to awaken now. Let's go. Yeah. Then I went home to get my mind off things. I decided to watch television. Got that subliminal brain immersion. Subconscious death was coercion. Buy and consume and want and need. Never fall from the trap of greed. Listen up, sleep on. Sleep on, sleep well. Thought about the bit of it. Jail thoughts and falling weight. Thought I had it, looked away. What you do anyway? Shall choose opposition for the right. Burn attention, always see the appetite. Always never mind. Sleep on, sleep well.
Sleep what?
Only to awaken now. Sleep on, sleep well. Only to awaken now. Only to awaken now.
Healthy body, sick mind.
Spend some money and bills and waste your mind, you're with yourself. Schedule's hectic and you got no time to kill. Earning money and you're spending it the right way. Just to rush you don't know if it's anything. But then again, run. Then you work 8 hours, saving good for good. Little words, place on side. Always such a pleasure, never ever satisfied. Healthy body, sick mind. Working overtime, healthy body, sick mind. Too hectic, healthy body, sick mind. When you're just a mind, it's just a matter of time. Sick body, sick mind. Money you spend on money just to feed me for a week. Plans are laid so well that you can't even sleep. Pursuit of happiness, cause your life's under martial law. You got everything to lose, your parents are paid off for. Run, but again, run. Then you walk 8 hours, sleeping underneath the drug. Better work, better la. Always watching, but you never ever satisfied. Healthy body, sick mind. Working overtime, healthy body, sick mind. Too hectic, healthy body, sick mind. When you're just someone, it's just a matter of time. Sick body, sick mind.
All right, thus concludes our trip through Operation Ivy's Hectic EP. I do have one more release by them. I don't know if this is all the releases they did. This is just all that I have. This is the 69 Newport 7-inch. It says here, 69 Newport is a 7-inch vinyl EP recorded by the influential ska-core band Operation Ivy. The 7-inch was composed of Hedgecore and Left Behind, both of which were recorded at 924 Gilman Street in 1987. 69 Newport was unofficially released in March 1993 under the label Very Small Records. There's a note on the back. And I don't know who to credit for writing it because it's signed A Fool. But it says, Dear Larry and Dave, which Larry Livermore and Dave, I think it was Hirsch, we mentioned earlier, they were like the execs or whatever up at Lookout Records. So it's weird that this never got released on Lookout Records. They said this is on Very Small Records, but the note on the album is to the guys at Lookout. So anyway, Dear Larry and Dave, stayed up all night working on lyric sheet with bald guitarist. Relay runs to Kinko's. Finished. Looked at lyric sheet sitting on steps here. Started laughing. Example. Page 4 says, this is where song order gets fucked up. Songs missing, etc. 14 hours of work somehow produced the shittiest lyric sheet I have ever seen, with the possible exception of Sam I Am. Please don't accept my sniveling apologies as they are worthless. This leaves us with two possibilities. First pressing has no Lorax sheet. 2, hand-stuffing records, not you, us. I'm going home now. I have a long bike ride. Call me, 415, redacted. Signed, A Fool. P.S. Experiencing brain problems. Seriously. So let's get it. Side A of the 69 Newport 7-inch EP. This is Hedgecore. Okay, professional DJ time. Let's professional. This is Hedgecore.
Your footsteps on the stairs. Something in your head said a violent change. Come, we take, we direct the tour. Silent drums and what we adore. It's core. It's time. It's core. We're going head to many online. Saturday night, coming down the door here. John and Fagan, get your foot in there. Terrorists, nothing to be in a family. Fucking up your legend, what we see. It's core. It's time. It's core. We're going head to many online. Stop. Your footsteps on that day. Something in your head's been a violent change. Come, we sit, we dive into story. Violent interruptions, what we enjoy. It's core. It's time. It's core. We're going into one more. It's core. It's time. It's core. We're going into
All right, so we have got one more song rounding out the Operation Ivy discography. It was more than just an album deep dive tonight. We went ahead and played everything, at least I think everything that Operation Ivy has released. Maybe there's some songs on that CD, that compilation CD that I don't have here, but I'd have to go back and cross-reference and check. And I'm not going to do that. That's something I should have done earlier and prepared for. But I'm totally unprofessional. So this is it. Last song that I've got of Operation Ivy on vinyl, anyway. This is Left Behind. A little bit of a Clash vibe. There we go. That completes at least my Operation Ivy collection there, catalog, if you will. Thank you for sticking around for another deep dive, and if you join me next week's deep dive, we'll be doing Nevermind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. And if you're joining me on Saturday nights, Low Tech, Lo-Fi, Low Life Punk Show, you'll be hearing this. If you are a member of the Discord, you already know that we have this new this week just in. But if you're not, Saturday night we'll be playing some songs off of Ramones, Too Tough to Die. Oh, yes, we did want to play Green Day's cover of Knowledge, didn't we? We did want to do that. That was the first song we listened to by Operation Ivy. It's the first song off of Energy. So let's hear Green Day's cover of Knowledge right now. Oh, I know.
I know things are getting tougher when you can't get the top off the bottom of the barrel. Wide open, run my future now. It's fucking narrow. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. We get taught to decide. Just like myself, I'm not gonna change my mind. All I know know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know. Billy! What you gonna do with yourself? Boy, you better make up your mind. What you gonna do with yourself? You're fucking running out of time. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. And that's fine. Hey, we'll see you Saturday night. Thanks for sticking around. Love you guys.